Absolutely, absolutely autism.
Absolutely autism.
Welcome to Absolutely Autism. I'm Amy.
Lisa.
And I'm Janelle, and today we're going to talk about my children. I have a son who is diagnosed with ASD and global development delay. He is 7 turning 8, and I have 2 other sons that are 5 and 3, and there is some warning signs. I shouldn't say warning signs. Is that a good way to say it?
Okay.
Yeah.
There's some query on whether they may.
Yeah, I'm currently in the process to find that out. But I when I think of the possibility of having 3 children on the spectrum, I think, I know when I'm bring it on. I got this. No, I think, we've really become the autism house in a sense. The beauty about all my 3 children is that they're so different as well. And so I wouldn't say that the way that I am with my oldest is the same as I am with the middle child, because one is struggles with certain things and the other struggles with other things.
That's an interesting point, because just because siblings have both got a diagnosis as ASD does not mean they're going to present the same way at all.
They can be polar opposites and still have the same diagnosis.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And it goes with saying that every child on the spectrum is so unique, so different.
I know we've said it before, but you've met one person with autism, you've met one person with autism.
Yeah, absolutely.
Looking at my oldest son, his unique qualities are he goes into character a lot. Right now it's animals. Everything is animals. So it was dinosaurs for a really long time there, but now it's like, what's his favourite things? Birds, loves birds and lizards and snakes.
He pulled me aside at school the other day to show me the lizards in his book.
Yes, yeah. And for him, there's a lot of visual things, so he looks for that kind of engagement he loves watching the TV. He loves doing pretending to be these animals that he sees. We were really lucky the other day. There was a koala in a tree and he was over the moon. It was so exciting because the koala was like, normally they're quite high up, right? But this one was very low and we could see him and see his face. He was awake, which is unusual. Yeah. So we're like, bring it on. And even yesterday we went and met our therapy, our soon-to-be therapy dog for our kids, and we've named him Ollie. You'll meet him soon. But they engaged. He engaged really well with him.
He loves dogs as well.
He loves dogs. He does have some sensory. I don't know if it's sensory. It's more the anxiety, I think, with animals and not sure what he can do, and so we want to teach him. We want to teach him how to
and having a therapy dog is a great way to do that.
Yeah, especially because it's a Labradoodle. It's quite placid, medium-sized Labradoodle, and we're very we're looking forward to that, to have him have that lesson in a sense, so he can be what he loves, to be close to animals and things like that. And we do see the progression. We do see that he's doing a lot better. But
what's some of your biggest challenges with your son?
Transitions. Transitions. They come and go. Sometimes we can have a really hard time with the transition, where the meltdown comes in between any kind of move to, like, if we need to go to the shops or if we need to do something and he's already got in his head that he has to do a certain thing, or he's also he needs the timer. he needs the timer to feel like something's completed. And so without the timer, you kind of get the meltdowns. At school, just recently, he's picked up again not being able to move from task to task. And it's a challenge because he goes into his own world. And you
gets absorbed in what he's doing.
Yeah. And you can see it in the way he's acting, and you often say to him, come back, we need you here. And that's hard. I would say that's probably the biggest challenge. He's a great sleeper now. My youngest child not anymore. So they've taken their turns. So
Thank goodness.
So you just haven't slept for 8 years.
No, to sleep. Sleep. What is that? I would say that's definitely my biggest challenge. Is there anything else?
Something funny. Tell us something funny about him. Funny story. Or what do you love about him the most? About his personality?
What I love about my oldest son more than anything is his scripting. I love the things that have come from somewhere else. One thing that he does with when he's playing with kids or alongside kids at the playground, they often play chasey, and he'll say things, very cute things like, "I know you didn't, I know you can't," and like, "You can't get me," but like you can tell they've come from somewhere else. But
they're in the right context.
They're in the right context, like because they come across very scripted, but they are in the right context.
And they usually do it with an accent that doesn't belong to them.
American accent.
That's when you
Yeah. Which is awesome though. It means he's got a really lovely recall, a really good memory for things, and being able to pick that out and put it in a context that fits is great.
Once he gets to know somebody as well, it's very cute. He always, when he says goodbye, we have to prompt him to say goodbye, and he'll go, "Bye, I love you." And I'm like, I don't know how much he means it, but I do. He actually turns away from what he's doing when he says it. He actually looks at the person and says, "I love you," and I'm like, that's beautiful.
The world needs more of that.
Lots of hugs, lots of which is it's a beautiful and scary thing as well, but he will often hug strangers. And so I keep a good eye on him and make sure that where his social interactions are appropriate, I guess. But I do love it when they hug him back, and it's a beautiful moment. And more often than not, he is. It's usually a mum from school or something like that. It's
It just says a lot about his caring and loving nature.
Yes.
It's just
There's
a very
that empathy coming through.
Yeah. I'd say he's very, very loving. He does one thing he does that's interesting, which goes along with the loving nature as well, is that if my two younger sons are fighting, and my oldest son will take one of their sides, and he'll protect the other child, but not always in the best way.
That's just brothers.
That's true. That is true. Yeah, you can tell, but he actually takes it on. If one of them is crying, he will cry too. Even though it hasn't affected him physically affected him, he's affected emotionally by his brothers getting hurt, which is
He's an incredibly empathetic little being.
Yeah.
Which completely breaks the stigma of that
completely breaks
children with
mold.
ASD,
Yeah.
don't have sympathy and empathy in those.
They do. They just don't. They just don't tend to show it the way people think it should be shown.
Yeah, that's my oldest son I talk a bit more about because he does have the diagnosis. My other two sons, well, if they do get the diagnosis, you'll hear more about them as well because they...
Yeah, we're interested to hear the journey.
Yeah, and there will be a journey because, they are still young, but
Yeah, so watch this space.
Watch this space.
Well, thank you, Janelle, for telling us about your beautiful boys. Keep watching. We're each going to tell our stories so you get to know our kids a little bit more. Don't forget to subscribe to all our usual socials. We've got Facebook, Instagram and YouTube. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.